Yo, 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 welcome back to the fifth round. As always, myself, Stephen Moustaris. And man, what a wild fucking weekend of combat sports, especially MMA fans, boxing fans, just all around. I mean, Friday night we had PFL, the Professional Fighting League, going on, had some good fights. And then Saturday night had the UFC fight night between Giga Chikadze and Edson Barbosa. And I broke down, the only other fight I broke down from that fight card was the Kevin Lee Daniel Rodriguez fight. Just knowing, I just thought just all week leading up to it, it was a lot of shit talking. I mean, it's Kevin Lee. It's going to be a lot of shit talking. The uprising of Daniel Rodriguez, 200-0, supposedly in jail in street fights. Very impressive right now in the UFC. I want to say like 6-1, 5-1, one of those right now after this win. And I'm not going to spend too much time breaking down the fight just because I feel like if you watched it, it was kind of clear. I thought it was pretty impressive how good Kevin Lee came out in the first round. Very, very impressive. Didn't get hit by much. Really good defense. Didn't look too overwhelming, like small in the first round, at least when it comes to takedowns and whatnot. I know he got to secure a couple throughout the fight. Second round, Daniel Rodriguez, I think towards the end of that fight, that round definitely started to take over. Definitely was going, in my book, it was definitely 1-1. Going into the final round. And then Kevin Lee got that nice takedown with like 3 minutes left, if I recall. And I was like, it's going to be hard to hold that guy down, but I mean, you did what you almost had to do to secure the win. But he let Daniel Rodriguez right back up. And I don't think he really landed anything clean other than, I think he might have like one left hook, but Daniel Rodriguez just kind of just started carrying away with it, just outstriking him by the end of the fight. And I thought it was going to be a close one just because of that takedown in that third round. I wasn't sure what judges were going to say because sometimes the easiest takedowns win rounds for people or like the simplest takedowns, even though they're right back up. But we've seen some wild, wacky things. But overall, unanimous decision goes to Daniel Rodriguez, 29-28, all three judges. I wasn't arguing at all. During it, I was definitely on the fence. Wasn't sure who won the third round just because of that takedown, like I said. But I thought Rodriguez probably pulled it out. And now that leaves us here. I mean, I'm no expert or nothing. I just like talking about this shit, so I figured why not do something on it. But now this leaves you, because I mean, you see, of course, Kevin Lee came out, said he thought he, did enough to win, but he knew it was a lackluster performance. And then clearly Dana White comes out in his post-fight scrum saying, I'm not sure where this leads for Kevin Lee. Not sure if he's with us or out here, so I don't know if you really look at it. I mean, he starts in the UFC, I think, in 2014, and through 2014, 2015, I think he stacks up like a 3-1 record, 4-2 record, something like that. And then 2016 goes on a 3-0 run. And then that first fight in 2017, which is like probably where he got put on the map, was his fight with Michael Chiesa, where in the big Conor McGregor post-fight or pre-fight press conference there, you got Kevin Lee talking about Chiesa's mom, and Chiesa was like, "Oh, you don't talk about my mom." Then they run up to each other, and then Kevin Lee gives him the nice right hand. And then, of course, in that fight, Kevin Lee gets the rear naked choke within like a minute or something, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes at max, and gets him out of there. And now everybody's on top of the world, like, holy shit, Kevin Lee, like, let's see what goes. And then after Khabib and Tony Ferguson falls off for the 18th billionth time, we got the Kevin Lee-Tony Ferguson fight, and Kevin Lee's looking like, damn, I can get an interim belt. And honestly, if you remember that fight really well, he gave Tony Ferguson a really, really tough fight. Really tough fight for those first two rounds, and then he kind of gassed out, which after we talk about this seems to be just what happens with Kevin Lee. I mean, he goes on, loses to Tony Ferguson, which could have been extremely interesting. And then I know he pulls back, and he comes back with that win against Barboza, which, I mean, he almost takes the spinning heel kick, which had him on the really funny memes out there of him get the chicken leg going. And, I mean, he comes out, finishes him in the fifth round, which was impressive. But then he loses Ally Aquinta for the second time in a very, very lackluster performance. Like, he was coming off the top of the world. Close fight to Tony. Could have been interim champ any other way. Pulls out Barboza, loses to Aquinta. Then this is what he just starts gassing against RDA, dives in, gets choked out. Clearly gets that little steam with the knockout of Gregor Gillespie, but it was one of those ones where it was almost too much too soon for Gregor. Beautiful takedown artist guy, but he just at the time you could tell he was just miles behind of stand up, and Kevin Lee's not usually known for a stand up all like that, so it's pretty impressive to definitely see the head kick knockout. But then, of course, last year we all know his last fight loses Charles Oliveira, who he was honestly looking pretty good against in the beginning, per usual Kevin Lee fight, and then starts gassing out, starts diving in. It's just tough because I'm not sure where we go from here, because there was one. I mean, there is a lifeline here, where alternative lifeline where Kevin Lee's our interim champ, gets to fight Habib or whoever, if he doesn't get hurt. He probably gets demolished and all that, but it's just tough because all week he's talking about he's a top 5 welterweight at 170 even without a fight. He goes out. Dana Rodriguez is absolute dog, definitely going to be up there. His name's going to be known, but I don't know. I just don't know what more there is for Kevin Lee. I liked him at 155, just his body, type and whatnot at 155. But the killer's there. I think Islam gives him a lot of problems. Clearly, Dustin, Gaethje, Chandler, all them guys. Olivier, we've already seen. I mean, there are a couple people. I think if he fought Tony again, I think he might get the win. But that's the other thing. His last impressive performance, really, other than the Gregor Gillespie fight and Edson Barbosa, even though you kind of say it wasn't impressive. I don't know. Not trying to hate, but was his Tony Ferguson fight. And now that we've seen Tony on the big skid, it almost takes away from it. And I don't know. I really like Kevin Lee. I'm not usually a big fan of the shit talkers, but for some reason I do like him and whatnot. He's 0-1 with the new neck tattoo, new head tattoo. So I don't know. I think that they could probably throw him another person middle of the road, 170, but this was almost his chance, dude. Like, it really was, and I think he, I don't want to say choked, because it really was a pretty good performance. It's not like he got gassed or anything. Just seemed to be a little overpowered. I think that was about it. So, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are thinking, if anybody is even thinking anything. I could see him going over to Bellator and PFL or any one of these, but I just think he might be like a middle-of-the-road fighter there as well. It's like one of those, like when Anthony Pettis goes over to PFL and loses his first 2, you're like, yeah, fuck, like that could be happening to Kevin Lee here, and it's sad because he has had an impressive career, but I don't know. I don't want to be talking too much shit or anything, because I do like the guy. He's a very good fighter, kicking my ass all up and down the street if he wanted to. So it's not like I'm sitting here calling him trash, but it is just sad to start seeing some of our well-known fighters starting to fall off, because the fight game's a son of a bitch. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see. Not sure of his contract. I'm guessing we're probably going to see one more fight at 170 for him, but I think that's for his career on the line, and it's going to be an eater, but I think it's going to be an up and comer that just kind of gives no name kind of. But I don't know. Hopefully he can come back and prove us all fucking wrong. But I don't know. Thought it was a little rough. So this has been the 5th round. As always, myself, Stephen Moustaris, and brought to you by the Intrigue Content Network. And thank you guys so much for watching.